Well, hello there. I just want to make a quick video. I won't keep for long. I guess on the topic of cloning or human cloning. Basically, I'd had this conversation with a couple friends in my truther chat, and I thought I'd use it as the narrative to talk about this. And so, yeah, basically, here we go. And it started with Lori mentioning how Lil Wayne, the rapper, whatever, claims that he's a Martian or related to aliens, and how this whole alien agenda nonsense seems to tie in with cloning. And the alien agenda, Anunnaki, Palladian, the Orions, all that nonsense, it's definitely being pushed by Aldo and Don Bumsmell, Donald Marshall's camp. His cult can't not push the whole alien agenda, and it's been even more lately. It's kind of creepy, actually. It's like they refuse to even address the idea of the Nephilim. And then Laurie says, but Lil Wayne, he actually looks more like a gremlin than a Martian. Yeah, like a little weir rat, like some rat-human hybrid weir rat. And Laurie says, see, this is why I can't sleep, because I start talking about this stuff and I can't get to sleep. And then she says, yeah, he openly talked about some dude named the Birdman, turning him out on the casting couch, whatever. And I was saying, yeah, Lil Wayne's real name is actually Lil Wang. But as far as the whole idea of people getting turned out on the casting couch, yeah, that's going to be a barf for me. And then Laurie laughed, and I responded back saying, yeah, in jail, they call guys like that pocket holders. The hardcores, the block heavies, they would make a bitch, excuse my French, they would make a bitch stand there and hold their turned out pocket like a dog leash, like, hold my pocket, bitch, kind of thing, excuse my French. As far as the vernacular goes in jail, that's where it came from. But yeah, that's what these sellout rappers kind of remind me of. And as far as I'm concerned, the last rapper I heard of that seemed to be in any way real was the rapper named The Game. But yeah, he ended up apparently quitting or whatever when he found out who runs the rap game in Hollywood, and he exposed that 50 Cent guy as being Secret Poosty. And then after that, as far as I know, his career was pretty much over. I spelled career there wrong at first. But Laurie says The Game with Lil Wayne, apparently they did a song together as well. And then Sophie chimes in, I'm just having coffee here trying to catch up. And yeah, then Laurie was like, I didn't know that other song, blah, blah, blah. And I was saying, yeah, this guy, he seemed like an actual real dude, a connected dude. But then his whole rap deal seemed to go south after his beef with 50 Cent. And then Sophie asks, what happened to that Eminem guy? Or Marshall Mathers, or whatever his name is. And then I says, yeah, in my opinion, I think he was replaced with a Nephilim clone. He did that whole bathing in a bathtub full of blood ritual in one of his videos. Women will do it in soapy water or a bathtub full of diamonds. And then Sophie responded, like a baptism? And I was like, yeah, like some kind of satanic baptism. And then Sophie chimes back, gross. And yeah, super gross. But even looking at this picture of Eminem, that's not the same skull. That doesn't even look like the same shaped skull or hairline. And then even these sicko bathtub ritual videos they do, much less people like Whitney Houston and her daughter both dying in the same bathtub a year apart. But I guess that's a bit of a different story. However, yeah, this kind of shit is sick. And at the same time, Taylor Swift, she might be, well, double gross. And then Laurie says, I think Eminem died around the Not Afraid video, whenever that came out, and then they replaced him. But then Laurie responds back how these celebrities that may or may not be cloned, they always have those creepy dead eyes, dead empty eyes. And then I posted this picture again, I guess. I just thought that was creepy. Like I said, the skull isn't even the same shape. And then Laurie chimes in, mentioning the vids of him glitching out. And I was like, yeah, like the football clip where he's doing the announcement and he glitches out.
Some of you may know him as Eminem, but he's going to join the Saturday night crew with our music intro starting next Saturday night. But folks, I want to take you to the world premiere of one of his new videos called Berserk. Take a listen. It's headed for the top of the charts. So was that the great Rick Rubin who was helping produce that with you, Marshall, when you did that?
Yeah, sorry. Live TV. Live TV freaks me out a little bit. No. Yes, I'm sorry. What was the question?
And then even I was thinking about how that kind of music, as a Christian now, I don't really listen to it anymore. You know, I'm trying not to cuss and drop F-bombs, you know. But I used to be able to sing or rap, whatever. It was good practice for, I guess, learning that style of music, really. I'm more of a blues guy, but, you know. Yeah, before I became a Christian, I used to listen to a lot of that Eminem guy's stuff. Like, that one song of his was, I created a monster because nobody wants to see Marshall no more. They want shady, I'm chopped liver. Well, if you want shady, this is what I'll give you. A little bit of weed mixed with some hard liquor, some vodka that'll jumpstart you hot quicker than a shock when I get shocked at the hospital by a doctor, when I'm not cooperating, when I'm rocking the table and I'm cloning there. And then Lori chimes in, I've been wondering about some people on YouTube in the YouTube community not even being human, like the Nephilim Body Snatchers organic robotoid thing. And then she says there's a lot of these YouTubers that eat these insane amounts of food and they do it every day to stay fit and it makes no sense. And I responded back, yeah, you hear about that. The caloric intake, it doesn't make much sense unless you have some kind of modified ectomorphic metabolism or you're on HGH, human growth hormone acceleration, like that guys like Joe the Toe Rogan promote.
With this rap shit, roast beef and cabbage, Gucci on my tiny ass cheeks, I'm a savage, going toe to toe with the toe Joe Rogan, height sizes up like a brother Hulk Hogan, it's Lil Pants in the booth, sealing like a cupola, and yeah the champ is here so I better hear some hoopla, my closet's lined up with some petite attire, my verses so hot they cause you to perspire, while TikTok crisis dancing nurses go viral, the bears continue crushing in an upward spiral, although the real ass kicking's far from begun, this is a simulated run like Event 201, so there's never been a better time to bust a rhyme, to raise the glass of turpentine. I know I'm just a gnome alone at home, just know that you could be your own metronome to a new beat, and it goes. Lil Pants, Lil Pants, Lil Pants, Lil Pants.
And then Lori continues on, then they are like, I don't eat like this every day. And she's like, well then why are you uploading videos of yourself eating insane amounts of food every day? And I was like, to maintain that kind of massive frame, you need 2,000 to 3,000 calories a day. And then you also need massive amounts of protein to maintain the body mass of a power lifter or whatever. And that's where stuff like HGH comes in, like human growth hormone. Also, Rob Skiba, I know, crunched the numbers once. And something like a 20-foot tall Nephilim giant would have to eat something like 300 cheeseburgers a day. And Lori's like, if I look at food wrong, I gain weight. I'm the opposite. I'm super skinny. I mean, I have an ectomorphic metabolism. I can eat like 6 times a day and not really gain any weight. But yeah, that's what a lot of people were saying as an alternative theory with guys like Dave Chappelle suddenly getting massive, that they claim he was cloned, but it could also be human growth hormone. And if you stop taking it, all your muscle mass turns to blubber, even worse than steroids, like steroids on steroids. So it's a catch-22, kind of like adrenochrome, except adrenochrome supposedly keeps you from aging, like a vampire would. But anyway, The Rock also made jokes about HGH and adrenochrome on Saturday Night Live as well. And then Lori chimes in about how Eminem talked about cloning in one song as well as Britney Spears. And I was like, yeah, that one Britney Spears video, the Japanimation anime video of her destroying a cloning lab. And then like right before that was when she had her meltdown and she shaved her head. To it, Lori was talking about how that seems to be like a cover story, that every time they have a breakdown or go into rehab, that they're being replaced. And then also like the rapper B.O.B., that song I posted earlier, he's another one that openly claims to have been cloned. And when I called him out in a video about it, he started copyright striking anything I used clips of his in the next day kind of thing. He's also been in communication with Donald Marshall, although Donald now says that he betrayed him or something, I don't know. But I also had a video about Bob promoting a bunch of Gnosticism and Freemasonry, lying and cheating and stealing and pushing the Zeitgeist bullshit. But all that got deleted with my Marimore the Red page. And then Lori chimes in that she heard the whole celebrity death hoax, and that's when they come out or they roll out a new clone, you know, whatever. And I was like, yeah, the idea that they're getting a new clone. The thing is, I think that some of these celebrities make a deal with the devil for 10 years of fame and fortune, and then they die or sacrifice themselves, as it were, and the clones that follow aren't even technically them anymore, you know, like their soul has moved on, and the clones are just Nephilim possessed, Nephilim demons possessing these bodies, piloting these bodies, pretending to be them, feeding off of the celebrity worship, different demons taking turns, pretending to be these celebrities, much less the whole topic of the Vrill droning or whatever. It still comes down to Nephilim body snatchers. And then I was like, yeah, there's like 8 songs Bob did from his One Flat Earth album. But then he started going all Gnostic Freemason Prince Hall on everybody. And I was like, okay, I'm going to tune out. And then Lori chimes in saying that makes a lot of sense. And she liked the way I explained it. And that's an old theory I've had. Because the truth of the matter is there's a bunch of different types of cloning. It's not all duplicate cloning in a tank or super soldiers and all that. If you have pure DNA, human DNA, what the Bible would call a son of Adam, in my opinion, you could still potentially have a soul. You could still be redeemed. I would wager most clones are just embryonic clones like that, impregnated into a surrogate mother. Probably, maybe, they don't even know. Technically still human, like a twin. And I would wager these people grow up not even knowing they're clones, as a way for the royal bloodlines not to mix their DNA with the rest of the masses, as it were. Like the kid who plays Spider-Man now, he might be an embryonic clone of Stan Lee, the creator of Spider-Man. I mean, just take a look at this kid. They're nearly identical. But he could have grown up not even knowing, you know? And I might be wrong, I'm just speculating. But the whole topic of duplicate cloning, like Nephilim replacement, hangman ritual cloning, grown in a tank, you know, typically that type of a clone won't have a belly button, or if they do, they have other factors like they age rapidly, or they can end up having serious skin disorders and whatnot. But yeah, like she was saying, that's a whole different form of cloning. The idea of like celebrities getting new clones every time they go into rehab or whatever. And then also there's this company here in Canada called CloneAid, where you can pay like $10 million or something like that and have yourself embryonically cloned and implanted into a surrogate mother or your wife or whatever, born as a baby like anyone else, and you get to raise this clone of yourself as a child. And the worst thing is it's perfectly legal. That's what flipped my wig back in the end, was finding out that this human cloning was not illegal. That's sick. It should be highly illegal, but it's not. And then you take a look at these pictures, like this one, the staff, the crew at this CloneAid company. It's clearly not a conspiracy theory. This company exists. And then I have to question some of their symbols here. Like, why do they have the Star of Remphan mixed with a swastika? Are they really confused? Are they trying to, like, clone Jews and Germans together to make super Aryans or something? Like, what's the deal with this company? Creepy, right? I mean, it's not my symbol, it's their symbol. And then Lori chimes in that there's this one Asian woman who gets recommended on her YouTube channel, just straight cringe. Something called Mukbang Community. I don't even know what that is. Her name is Buki Bulky, Baki, whatever the hell. And she's like, I'm not even kidding you. She looks like one of these weird sex dolls. Those creepy sex doll things that they started making replicas of porn stars and whatnot. And Lori goes on to say she dislocates her jaw and does all this weird shit, making her think that she's not even human. Which got me thinking about that one Tila Tequila video where she says that all the videos with her in it doing porn, that wasn't her, it was a clone, or like we're talking about here, organic robotoids, or even just sex dolls. You know, the idea of androids or animatronic people. I mean, I don't know. But either way, these celebrities make these statements of their own volition. And then, of course, I've also heard that celebrities now agree to let themselves be cloned, and that the clones get dished out to these high-ranking guys, basically like bought and sold, like a toy or like a sex doll, to literally be able to do whatever they want to them, you know, screw them to death, kind of gross kind of things, rituals, whatever. Or even on a different topic, I heard that the one chick from the Fugees, whatever her name is, Lauryn Hill, she made some big freak-out crybaby stink and was one of the only celebrity women to worm her way out of it. But then right after that, she lost her record deal and the Fugees broke up. All I remember about the Fugees is that one goof in the band, whatever his name is, Wyclef Jean or whatever. He had that one song he wrote that the whole song was him attacking Jesus Christ. I thought, wow, that's pretty classy. And so, yeah, I stopped listening to a lot of mainstream crap after that, realizing that they were all occultist, Satanist goofs. Also, when I first started looking into this topic years and years ago, it came to my attention that me and my sister may or may not be embryonic clones of Humphrey Bogart, my grandma's favorite actor. And then you can see me in the picture there, second from the top on the left. And I mean, that look in Humphrey Bogart's eyes in that picture, that's the exact same look my sister has if she's scrutinizing somebody while she's smoking. It's so creepy, the exact same look in his eyes and her eyes. Which would also explain why my sister's blood type is O positive and mine's O negative. Yeah, that's not weird or anything. And I noticed autocorrect spelt it anything, like anything you want, baby. But yeah, ultimately, the thing I can't stand about this whole cloning topic is it's almost impossible to vet it on an individual level, you know? But on a macro scale, it's obviously happening. But on a micro scale, trying to find any proof is like pulling teeth. Or even this chart here, which I'll let you just pause and read at your own speed, talking about how the Rockefeller Foundation, whatever, the Rand Corporation, has been bragging that they've been cloning people since 1977. Like, what? And most people still think this is a conspiracy theory? 1977, the same year Von Braun and my grandpa died? Like, I mean, this whole topic gives me a headache. And yeah, so does Donald Marshall. I pray for the guy, but I do think he was replaced in 2012. Like this funny video I made, psychoanalyzing Don Don. Like his last interview he gave, he was obviously drunk, but it was still pretty bonkers. It's funny how Donald Marshall's cult always says the same thing about me. That I'm jealous of Donald and I want to be him. Yeah, right. I'd rather be killed by paper cuts, thank you very much. These clowns, they all think, like, to use the analogy of the Lord of the Rings, they simply can't conceive of anyone wanting to destroy the ring of power, so to speak. They just assume everybody else wants control of it. They don't stop to think that maybe some of us want to destroy it, hey? That all I want is cloning to be illegal, highly illegal, not allowed. But people like Donald think they could wrest control of it and that it's some kind of cure for death or counterfeit immortality. And they honestly think they could take control of it and save the world. It's insane. And no wonder guys like Donald are pushing the alien agenda, because if you go anywhere else with this topic, it always leads to hell. It leads to the idea of Nephilim replacements. And then I was asking them if they mind if I use this chat as a narrative to make a video, which I'm making right now. I had recorded it and now I'm just doing the audio. Also another video I wanted to make about Justin Trudeau. People think he's a clone of Castro. I just think he's Castro's bastard. But I'll make that video another day. But yeah, as far as the topic of cloning, I got my Stop Human Cloning group from a Christian perspective. But yeah, you need a referral to enter this group. And we're not really accepting new members right now. Because frankly put, everyone who's tried to join recently seems to be a shill for Donald. Whatever, I don't really care. If you want a really decent video about cloning, check out this Illuminati Human Cloning, Counterfeit Immortality by Fritz Springmeier. He does a pretty good job of breaking down the history of it. And so, yeah, I mean, just scrolling through my post here, finishing up this video. I just thought I'd make a video here after having that conversation in the Truther chat, because I know that all my videos from my Merrimer the Red page got deleted on this topic, so some of them, I guess, kind of need to be remade. And at the same time, obviously, the same prayer I always pray, protection from such things as night terrors, sleep paralysis, forced dream travel, astral travel, REM downloading, astral attacker, succubi, incubi, praying protection in the mighty name of Yeshua Jesus Christ. Because frankly, you know, that's the only protection we have. And that's the big defense that Donald can't seem to realize why he doesn't have. He keeps saying if he could figure out a way to stop this, he would have stopped it. But as far as I can tell, from my own personal experience, the only way to be protected from this is with prayer. And so yeah, like even this, the last time I had a Facebook text with him or whatever, however long ago it was, he just lies about his behavior and pretends like he's some kind of hero or something. It's like, whatever, buddy, you should look in the mirror when you say this shit. But I guess that's pretty much all I wanted to say about that. I just wanted to make this video. And like I says, in the description section below will be my citations and links. But this is one of those topics that's just so hard to vet. So at that, I'll just say, peace out, baby.